This is a picture of Joel Osteen. He's quite a famous gospel preacher. He says he was reluctant to take over his father's position, but he gave in. That's the story he came up with, and I believe it's a bit of a story. I think he was only too eager to take over. And he started preaching, and he's got a knack for it. I will give him that. He's got quite a knack for telling a story. And these guys, when you get into a groove, when you can do it, you can become good. You can become famous. People, if you study psychology, people are vulnerable to someone who talks well and says what you want to hear. And that's what his whole gospel is about. Chris Hedges does a great job of exposing these guys. He calls them the prosperity gospel. And if you've ever heard him talk about him, because Chris is in that vein, he's been in it for I don't know how many years, and so he knows all about it. And he says these people like Joel Osteen are pure fraudsters. And I agree with him. So now what's happened, yesterday I believe, it came out that a plumber who was called to where Joel preaches was trying to fix a leak. And in the pipes, he discovered envelopes of cash in total of $700,000. Police believe this was the same money that Joel reported was stolen, and then they did an insurance claim on it. I'll put a link in. You can read the story for yourself. I'm not going to go through it verbatim. And so now this gentleman has been totally exposed. He's been exposed a couple times, but he keeps getting past it. People keep flocking to his sermons. The same place where he locked out people in Houston when there was the flood who were desperate for help, and Joel just locked the doors and said, find somewhere else to go. Was it totally because the people were black? I don't know. You'd have to go inside his heart to know that, and I don't want to go into that vein, that area. I just know that this gentleman and his wife should be ashamed of themselves, to put it mildly. They went on Larry King, and then again when I think it was hosted by Piers Morgan or someone, and they answered the questions of why his wife was berating the stewardesses over not receiving the proper first-class treatment and whatnot. And that was the first indication to anybody who wanted to know that these people were frauds, not the people they purport to be. So I just want to put in links to this so you're aware of it. I'm really disappointed in the people who attend his sermons. And they go by the tens of thousands. And I would love to interview some of these people. Why are you going to this guy? He is a total fraud. Why are you attending his service, giving him your money, buying his books? I have no idea why, but I would love to talk to them to try to understand it. But it would certainly be good justice if people en masse, I mean everyone, stop going to him, stop buying his books, and just left him to be on his own means. This guy's a multi-millionaire. Stop giving him the adulation and the craving that he does not deserve. Just turn your back on him, and all the other prosperity gospel preachers by the same token should be avoided as well. That would include T.D. Jakes, Benny Hinn, and I'll put a list of the others. I'm hoping this pandemic will prevent these guys from continuing to rake money and steal money off their parishioners. That would be something that is high time that it happened.